Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Financially Fit. I'm your host, Marion Jacobson, and we're here today to talk about planning for college with Cheryl De La Cruz.
Hi, Marion. Happy to be here.
Cheryl, I know you work for career development here at LaGuardia, but what is your job exactly?
Well, Marion, I'm a career program specialist. That means that I help students plan for their education and career.
Planning for college. That reminds me of the marshmallow test.
Ooh, marshmallows. Sounds delish. I love cooking shows, and I love marshmallows.
I agree 100%, but the idea is not to eat the marshmallow. When researchers at Stanford offered children a marshmallow but promised them two if they waited, many gobbled down the single sweet treat on the spot.
Wow, that really demonstrates the challenge of planning ahead. It explains why so many people realize too late they haven't saved enough for post-secondary education.
I just read a study by the student loan company Sally Mae that most Americans who want to send their kids to college do not have a plan to cover the cost. 4 out of 10 American families do not have a plan, to be exact.
I know, right? Sad but true, for my family especially. And what complicated things even more was my father didn't really see me as quote unquote college material. My dad worked as a building superintendent and my mom as a home health aide. They were not able to save money to send me to college because all of their money went to food and bills. College savings, honestly, was never really a thought.
And here you are with 2 degrees, including a master's in social work, advising students on how to become successful in college and pay for it. Now that's resilience.
Thanks for that, Marion. I think the light went off for my mom eventually, especially when her best friend, who also happens to be my godmother, started talking about me going to college. Plus, my high school guidance counselor gave me a lot of encouragement.
Thanks so much for sharing that, Cheryl, and big respect to your godmother. I'm sure that your story will resonate with others in a similar situation, especially during the tough times that we're in right now.
This could be the right time for many folks to consider furthering their education, especially if they have lost a job or their career plans suddenly changed. A college degree matters now more than ever, right?
Absolutely. We'll be talking about the value of a college degree in this podcast
And financial aid.
and scholarships.
And what you're likely to pay for that degree.
Oh boy, here comes the sticker shock.
My first piece of advice, Marion, because I'm a social worker, is don't panic. There is a lot you can do, even without a fat bank account or rich parents.
So, how much does college cost?
Think affordability. We're at LaGuardia, at CUNY. They're a public university where the mission is to provide high quality college education affordable for all New Yorkers.
I'm ready. Hit me up with the sticker price.
Well, you asked for it, so here it goes. Marrying an associate's degree will cost you about $9,600 for in state tuition, assuming you stay on track and complete that degree in 2 years. And by the way, folks out there who are shopping around for colleges, the government requires schools to post their price on the Federal College Navigator website.
4,800 a year for tuition. That is very reasonable considering that the cost of a year at a 4-year public college would go like from $10,000 to $19,000 for in-state. And by the way, can you explain what in-state tuition means, Cheryl?
Oh, of course. Most of our students are residents of New York who will be paying in-state tuition. That's a huge discount. But Marion, you need to ignore the sticker price. Very few of our students pay that. They'll pay the net price, which is the actual cost after discounts and financial aid. It's a big distinction.
And we don't just think of a degree in terms of costs, we think about value.
Good point. So, what is the value of a college degree? Maybe students want to know what they're paying for, or better yet, what they're investing in.
Glad you asked, Cheryl, because the annual earnings of a college graduate are almost 3 times higher. It's 3 times higher than someone with only a high school education, as you can see from this chart. And by the way, bear in mind that this chart only shows graduates with a bachelor's degree who are the highest earners of our college graduates. But that said, it's important to know that people with an associate's degree, a 2-year degree, and some college, even only a semester, do better than folks with only a high school diploma.
That's good to know. By the way, this chart shows something interesting: the wage gap, or the difference in income between folks with high school and college degrees. It's growing. That shows how a college degree is becoming more and more important in today's workplace. I need to share that with all of my students who are on the fence about applying for college.
Cheryl, I'm sure you know, and your students must know if they've ever been through a self-checkout, that so many manufacturing and service jobs, the kinds of jobs that high school graduates can get, are disappearing and becoming automated.
Yeah, but the value of a college degree is solid. It doesn't lose value over time. Think of it as something you always take with you, not like a car or jewelry. No matter what happens to you in life, no one can ever take away that degree from you and all of the personal growth and knowledge you attained while earning it.
Very convincing point, Cheryl, but help me understand tuition. It's a lot of money, probably the most expensive thing on people's wish lists, at least at this stage of life. I want to know, what is it that we are actually paying for when we pay tuition?
I'm glad you asked. Tuition money goes toward the cost of instruction, professors' salaries, support staff salaries, and the cost of operating the college. Tuition doesn't cover the entire cost. We get money from Albany and from the city government to keep our lights on.
And how much is it going to cost me if I were a student at LaGuardia to keep the lights on?
Well, it depends on how much instruction you're buying. You pay tuition based on the number of credit hours you take in college. Credit hours are like points that you accumulate, let's say, for your degree. Each degree requires you to earn a certain number of points, which we call credit hours in college talk. You will need 30 credits for that associate's degree. It will be a combination of your quote unquote general education classes and the classes you need for your major program. So your flexible core and your core required classes.
How long will it take me to get that associate's degree?
Well, that is a great question, Marion. The national average to complete is about 3 years. If you're full time and stay on track, you can expect to complete in 2 years or less here at LaGuardia, depending on whether or not you take classes in the summer or winter. Many of our students go part time because they have jobs.
Full time, that's 12 to 15 credit hours per semester, right? Are there any discounts for going full time?
No, I'm sorry, Marion. There are no discounts per se, but there is one big benefit. You can take additional classes way above 12 credits or more, and it's at no extra cost to you.
Love that idea, Cheryl. And it seems like LaGuardia is really promoting the full time option. Here's a nationwide ad campaign for 15 to Finish that LaGuardia is part of, a nationwide campaign sponsored by Achieving the Dream.
Well, think about it. The sooner you finish, the more value there is to your degree because you can start earning sooner.
And start paying those loans back. So, speaking of debt, let's talk about what you said earlier about most students not paying the sticker price of college.
Well, sure. There are two types of financial aid. One kind you have to pay back, and the other kind you don't.
I like money you don't have to pay back.
Well, don't we all? When we're talking about free money for college, we're usually talking about the Pell Grant. It's based on our financial need, and the amount tops out at around 6,000 per student per year. There's also, of course, the TAP Award that's available to New York State residents.
Which is enough to foot the bill for a year of tuition and then some.
Absolutely, Marion. But you need to fill out the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid. If you want to get any financial aid from the government, that also puts you in the running for federal work study, which means you could get a part time job on campus while you study.
What other types of free money are out there to help with college?
Yes, of course, scholarships. Scholarships are money you don't have to pay back. There are awards for academic achievement, community service, or athletics, and financial needs. Did you know that the LaGuardia Foundation gives out over $1 million a year in scholarships, Marion?
Wow, I did not know that. Do you have to apply for the foundation scholarships?
Yes, but it is a quick application. But there are also hundreds of outside scholarship opportunities out there you can search for free on sites like www.unigo.com. Let me emphasize free, because if they're asking for money to help you find money, I'm pretty sure that's a scam.
Thank you for that, Cheryl. Now, what can I do if I don't have enough money from Pell or TAP or scholarships to cover the cost of tuition and living expenses? Where's the best place to find student loans? And how much can I borrow?
Well, when we're talking about borrowing money for college, we're usually talking about federal unsubsidized and subsidized loans. When a loan is subsidized, you're paying a lower interest rate than an unsubsidized loan. Federal loans have the best repayment terms, and repayment can be tied to income. So if you're not earning a lot of money after you graduate, your payments will be relatively low.
That's money I'll owe to the government right after I graduate, right?
Well, not immediately. Students typically have 6 months after they graduate or 6 months after they're no longer registered at full time status before they have to start paying back their loans. But if you're not working and not earning, you don't have to start paying off your loans right away.
Got it. So how much can I borrow and how do I apply for the subsidized and unsubsidized federal loans?
Well, the first step would be to fill out the free federal aid application form, which is the FAFSA we were talking about earlier. And then there's a few other steps that come after, like the promissory note and entrance counseling. But there's a limit on how much you can borrow. Unless they're legally independent of their parents, first year students can take out no more than $5,500, and second year students can take out no more than $6,500, up to a total of $27,000.
Between Pell, scholarships, and student loans, I could end up with enough money left over from tuition to go on vacation or buy something I want.
Not so fast, my friend. The money for your tuition will go directly to the college. You may get a book advance, which will let you buy textbooks with the money from your grant or loan. If you have some change left over, then by all means, spend it wisely, like maybe on some Metro cards. Focus on your needs, not your wants.
Let's take a look at what's left over. For students who receive the maximum Pell and TAP awards, and many do here at LaGuardia, that amount would be significantly more than the cost of tuition and the books that you need. You'd get a refund, which could be as much as $5,000 or $6,000 a year towards your living expenses. And not only that, but you'd be on track to graduate from LaGuardia debt-free. That's right, no student loan debt. According to my colleagues in student financial services, only 4% of our students have to borrow money for college. That's 96% getting that diploma debt-free. When you compare that with the national average of only 31% of college students graduating without debt, it's pretty impressive, and it shows how affordable the degree at LaGuardia is. Of course, there are some students who will need to borrow money for college tuition, that 4%. If you're in that category, if I'm in that category, Cheryl, what should I do?
You know what you need? You need to talk to Antonio, our loan guy, about borrowing money and understand how interest works. Antonio can help. He'll also help you figure out a strategy to pay off loans and stay out of debt.
Cheryl, thank you so much. This has been very helpful. I want to know if you have any advice to help students get on track to college if they're uncertain about their finances. What would you have told your younger self and folks today who are setting their sights on higher education in a very tough time?
I would say keep telling yourself that you are absolutely 100% college material and it will manifest. And you aren't in this alone. Find someone who can support you in your college dreams, who knows what you're capable of, even if you might have to start looking outside of your own family. I had my godmother and my guidance counselor to cheer me on all the way to SUNY Albany, where I absolutely fell in love with the campus, my major, and I made lifelong friends.
I would highly recommend college visits. They were extremely important to me in making my choice. My sisters went to SUNY schools, and I decided early on I needed to be in a smaller place. And it was only because of visits that I could make that choice. Of course, it's now going to be a virtual visit for all of you guys, but you can still get a feel for the campus culture and enjoy those amazing 3D tours, videos, and all kinds of interactives. Cheryl, how can people contact you for more information?
Well, if you want to hear more about planning for college and how to apply for financial aid, I'll be announcing future webinars that give more specifics about paying for college. Right now, I'm giving out my contact information. Feel free to email me at chdellacruz@lagcc.cuny.edu. Again, that's chdellacruz@lagcc.cuny.edu. My phone number is 718-482-5097. Again, that's 718-482-5097. I would love to answer your questions and talk to you about college plans.
Thank you, Cheryl, for all the terrific advice, and thanks to all of you listening to Financially Fit, and good luck.